Alright, so this is my first sort of foray into VR right here. So you can see I have this sphere right here, and I also have my hands, which are currently being represented by these boxes. So, one of the problems I have noticed, though, is if I move around, you'll notice that my hands do not exactly stay in the same spot that they should be. This is more evident for the VR user, but if I move to the right, you'll notice my hands shift to the right, and I'm not moving them from my current spot. So, where they return to after I stop moving is where they should be, but we're just getting that little bit of movement on all directions. So, but I also have this sphere here, and my hands and this sphere can interact with each other. So I'm going to try to hit it now. I gotta be careful because I don't want to hit my desk, but there we go. And way off much faster than we can move. But yeah, we're currently out on this just sort of big green plane here, and so I think my movement speed is around 5 meters per second, and it looks that it's still ways away. But yeah, so this is what it looks like inside the headset. If we looks like, here we go. We're back to the sphere. Nice. If we take off the headset and instead switch over to the code, I can show you a little bit of that. So here we have the code. The main game, I've done a little bit with Godot before, but Godot is made up of a series of nodes over here that on the left of the screen. So the main node is this red game node, and this is just a 3D spatial node. And then next to that, that's where our player is. So if I click on my player, then it'll show sort of this is where our player is on this giant sort of field that we've got here. We also have our environment, which right now is just our floor. Some old stuff that I'm not using it right now because I couldn't get it to work. But then we have our sphere, and the sphere does bounce quite a bit. It starts off bouncing, but does not stay that way for long. So that is the sort of basic setup of our code. If we go over here to player, you'll notice each hand, we've got an instance for each hand of the controllers, and then each hand also has a rigid body, and that's what allows it to interact with that sphere there. So, on over to the script. Most of these scripts are sort of from code that I use from tutorials or code that was given for sort of given for free, so I took advantage of that. But this is our initialization. We've also got our movement code right here. It's a movement. In order to move, we have to get our axes, how far we're moving with our axes from this, and then we've got our move speed, and then at the very end, the movement is actually moving where the player is in the game. So unlike many other sort of game objects where you're moving some sort of kinematic body that has a position, we're actually moving a position around, and that position is tied to the player. So that's about all I really wanted to show. One thing I would say about this, though, is that it is extremely difficult. I'm honestly a little bit disappointed with how far I got. This is my first time trying to sort of do this type of thing, but I was hoping I would get a little bit farther, but it was very difficult. I was spending quite a bit of time searching tutorials, looking at documentation, asking for questions in community Discord, all of that. So but I feel like I'd like to get this working a little bit more. One of the things I'd like to get working is um, the environment itself was very static. If you looked at the lighting on the boxes, the lighting would almost be sort of either on or off, or there was no sort of gradual lighting between the shadows. So I'm sure that's a setting somewhere, but I haven't learned that yet. I'd also like to have there be more ways for the player to interact with the game rather than just sort of chasing a sphere around a big empty field. But for right now, this is so will have to suffice. But I hope to keep making these, maybe with Godot or maybe with a more powerful Unity engine. But thank you for watching.